Good morning, Foresters Beach. Thank you. So lovely to see you all here today. It's been a beautiful week, somewhat wet, but you know, we need the rain. People say we do need the rain. I was fortunate enough in January, I decided I was going to go to the health summit that was being held on the Gold Coast this year. And I'm a health enthusiast. That's how I think of myself, as someone that's really interested in health, likes the idea of cooking, good healthy food that tastes nice as well. And I've always had this passion. I just remember talking to my mum. I remember years ago, I said to Mum and Dad, I'd like to be a vegetarian, and they were just shocked. And it's like, oh my goodness, what next? Anyway, I was talking to Mum last night and I said to her, Mum, I'm still really interested in health. I don't know what it is about that. And she said, I am not interested. And I'm like, okay, I know. So I can go a little bit overboard with my enthusiasm for health, but how blessed was I last week to be able to go to the Gold Coast for the Health Summit. And it was all part of ELIA Wellness. Let's see if this is going to work. Yes. Okay, so ELIA Wellness, just to reiterate, because I never remember the acronym, and hopefully you do if it's written there, and I can read it to you here too. It stands for, it is a health promotional charity, an arm of the church that empowers people to whole person health. So that is looking after yourself and your health as a priority. They partner with health professionals to provide evidence-based resources to use in our practice or to use in our church or school or wellness hub. ELIA stands for Empower Lifestyle Innovation Advocates, and it's the sister organisation of the Sydney Adventist Hospital and is an Adventist health initiative under the corporate umbrella of Adventist Healthcare Limited. And there, as you can see, that's a lot of words, I know, but it means looking after your health and taking an interest. And I think we should all take an interest in our health. I've been particularly interested in it since Mum got really sick last year with a heart concern. And I thought to myself, I've got to get back into it. I've always loved it, and I'm thinking I've got to start getting into it again. And what there is with ELIA Wellness are the 7 dimensions of wellness. This means you need to emotionally thrive. You need to be physically energised, socially connected, vocationally enriched, intellectually engaged, environmentally attuned, and spiritually empowered. So that's what those 7 dimensions are a part of. Now, I know this one's a little bit hard to see because I took it while I was sitting there listening to the lectures, and there were a lot of professionals there. It wasn't just a 3-day fun weekend where we ate really nice food, which I'll show you because we did. We sat from 9 on the Friday morning, 9 till 9 at night, listening to doctors, listening to dietitians, listening to other churches who are also part of this ELIA Wellness Hub. And did you know that Foresters Beach is a wellness hub? It's really good to be a part of that. I'm thinking, oh, I've got to get back into it. Now that I'm working part-time, I should be able to fit in doing some more health work as well. So what you'll see is that you've got to eat predominantly whole plant foods, fruits, vegetables, legumes, minimise the processed, avoid fatty and sugary, drink 8 to 10 glasses of water. And one other thing that we tend to take for granted, and that is to not rest. We fill our lives with so many things that we actually need to stop and rest, and that is the beauty of the Sabbath. So I'm thankful that we have the Sabbath and we can stop and rest, because so many people are so busy day in, day out, and go to bed really late and burn that midnight oil and not have the appropriate rest. So rest to me was a huge one, and this year that's the one I want to focus on. So I'll show you this one other slide before I show you the photos of what we were actually involved in. This one shows you that there's a program and a platform that you can access that's on it's a web-based program that you can use as a research tool if you would like. There's a lifestyle medicine centre in Wahroonga that you can attend if you want to. There's also the church does the promotional networks, and the other thing is that we connect with the community in order to provide our wellness hub, and we connect with our local church, school, and with our health facility to provide this connection. So we were watching, while we were there, we were listening to other churches that are also providing this in their community, and there are very good results. And I was very pleased to hear from a church in New Zealand that's been running these health seminars, and they ran all the way through COVID and were able to keep people interested even through live streaming their CHIP programs. So this is where we attended. We went to the Mantra Legends, which was on Surfers Paradise, and after being at Surfers, I was very thankful that we live here. It is so busy. I was talking to some of the locals, and this is what I do, because I took a day either side of the program so that I could just turn up and not be too stressed and relax. And the locals were telling us since COVID, over 250,000 people have moved into Surfers Paradise, that area. That's a lot of people, and I really noticed it. When we came back, I'm like, it's so peaceful here. And, you know, we live in a fairly built-up area as well. So this is the Mantra Legends. It was a very nice facility. As you can see, the food was beautiful. Lots of colour, brightness, very, very nice food. Lots of salads, lots of choice. And there were the other delegates there as well. Oh, it was really interesting. The first day I thought, I'm not going to eat breakfast. I'm just going to wait till lunchtime to have the yummy food that's presented here. And I'll go back a slide to show you how yummy that looks. But they had this beautiful sourdough breads and butter, and I'm like, oh, that's what I'll have. And that was the first thing I ate by the time I ate it. And I'm thinking, oh, the bread and the butter tasted so nice when you're really hungry. It was beautiful. The next day, the butter was gone. I think they realised you're not meant to have butter at the Wellness Summit. But anyway, it was something that I enjoyed. So the other delegates were there, and we were able to network with them. They had some amazing blended juices, which were delicious, I've got to say. I had that for the next few days. And we were able to network with friends, and I had to put this slide up to show you. I went there specifically with a girlfriend from Queensland, but the other two ladies that I met there, the one on the far left, is actually a girl who went to my high school. And she came and found me and she said, Daniella, I recognised you because she's friends with my sister in Queensland. And she wasn't an Adventist when she was at my high school. She's become an Adventist since, and she is also a health enthusiast, very much interested in the health arm of the church. And it's just, I was just joyous to be able to network and talk to her about her journey to Adventism, since she comes from where I grew up in South Australia. And the girl in the middle is Rochelle Fraser, who we met in Ballarat. And so it was just really good to catch up with people and network with where people are on their health journey. The takeaways, now they're really tiny, a bit hard to see, but the number one issue in health today is depression. And they talked a lot about, since COVID, we've discovered this. Well, since COVID, they've discovered that mental health and depression are one of the highest issues. They even overtake cardiovascular disease in our community. So it's one that we need to keep our eye on. I also did a stress seminar, and we found out that family and finances were very high on the stress scale. And they're huge factors. Another one that I thought was really interesting that we may not have heard about before, and one we need to highlight, is the correlation between autoimmune and childhood trauma. And they say that allied health professionals need to be available to people who have had this type of trauma so that they can correct their health. Stay within a healthy weight range. Now, this stuff you probably have heard about. Fasting weekly, that was actually another really important one, is to just abstain or elongate the times between eating. So around 5 hours between eating your next meal to give your stomach the appropriate rest break that it needs. And exercise is really important, just to keep moving. Even as we age, we've got to keep moving, at least 30 minutes of vigorous exercise, a brisk walk, just keep things moving is really important. But we had such beautiful spiritual encounters there, and this one quote I was really impressed with and I thought I have to include this in my presentation because everyone that was presenting from a spiritual element as well, and that was so beautiful to hear. The need to connect to real power for change. Apart from divine power, no genuine reform can be effected. Human barriers against natural and cultivated tendencies are but as the sandbank against the torrent. Not until the life of Christ becomes a vitalising power in our lives can we resist the temptations that assail us from within and from without. And that's from Ministry of Healing. I thought that was quite pertinent for us today. So, beloved, and that's little as well, but beloved, I pray that all may go well with you and that you may be in good health as it goes with you, with your soul, as all goes well with your soul. When I took that photo, I was wandering around on the beach and walking in the water, and I did take a dip because the water was quite warm for May, end of May. It was just beautiful. And I just thought about that. I would love for you all to be in good health. We all know what it's like when we have the absence of good health. So I pray that that you are blessed from the report that I've given. This is what I encountered while I was on my trip last week. Just a few little things that I've remembered from it because it was quite a lot of information. And I hope you've gained something interesting from this talk that can bless you this week.